Oh, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful day here in Brotopia, and we're back playing some more Feed the Beast. Now, what I want to do today is our little empty room down here. I want to start doing some experimentation in there. So, what I'm going to play around with today is to try and get to grips with the Thaumcraft mod for doing magic. Now, we have some magic shards and things like that we've picked up around the place, so I figured it was time to get some use out of them and start doing our Thaumcraft. Now, the first thing I'm going to need to do any of that stuff is I'm going to need a wand. Now, the Wand of the Apprentice, I think, is the original mod, wand even. So that's the first thing I'm going to need. Now, it's not letting me check the recipe, but luckily I think I know what it is anyway. So we're going to need to smelt a gold bar to start with. So let's get some gold smelting there. And we're also going to need, have I got sticks? I do not. We're going to need sticks. So let's make some sticks. And there was another ingredient for the wand. I think it may be a block of iron, maybe? I'm not 100% on that. Let's see. Is our gold smelted? Yep. We need to turn our gold into nuggets. And then we need to, not the anvil, the crafting bench. We need a stick, a gold nugget, and what else was it that made the wand? Okay, I've got it. It is a stick, a gold nugget, and any kind of shard. So I'm going to use one of our fire shards, since that's the one we have the most of. And there we go, we have a Wand of the Apprentice. Now right now, if I move onto my wand, you can see down in the bottom right above my food bar that it's charging up with Vis. And what it's doing is it's taking the magic energy in this chunk and putting it into my wand. So each time I use my magic, the wand is going to recharge and it's going to give me more charges to allow me to do more magic. Now, the first thing I'm going to need to get started in this is a bookshelf. So let's take a look. Bookshelf. 3 books and any kind of wood. And a book is 3 paper and some leather. So I am going to need more leather. Let's go kill a cow. I'm not very prepared for this. I apologize about that. Okay, so I am back with some leather. So we need more paper. We're going to need 9 paper. So if we put the paper like this, and 3 leather to make some books, we get some wood out of our chest, and we can make a bookshelf. There we go, 1 bookshelf. Now, we need to, actually I don't need to place this down anywhere. I need to use my wand on this bookshelf, and that will give me a Taumonomicon, and this is what we use for our magic. So in here you can see everything that you can make with this mod. A lot of it at this stage is going to be grayed out because I haven't researched it yet. As you can see, this goes quite in depth, and the more you research, the more you're going to find out how to craft, and everything has its various uses. So to get started, I'm going to need a couple of the basic things you can make. I'm going to need a research table, and I'm going to need an arcane work table. So the first thing we need to do is build the table itself. So to do that, I'm going to need 3 of these total. So to do that, you make slabs and you put wood either side of them. So there's 3 tables for us, and we need to place these upstairs and make our magic room. So I am going to put my wand in 1 table, and that'll turn it into a arcane work table. And then I also need my research table. So I'll put the research table against the window here. Now I need to scribe tools in order to turn that into a research table, and scribe tools are made with a glass bottle, a feather, and an ink sac. So let's see if we have any glass, feathers, and ink sacs lying around. My farming should have some feathers in it. My mob drops should have some ink in it. And there should be some glass in my building materials here. Yep, there we go. So, glass bottles. So I need a glass bottle, a feather, and an ink sac. And they will make our scribing tools. Now when we use our scribing tools on the research table, or on two tables together, it will turn it into a research table. Now there's two different ways you can research. You can do cursory research, which will not use as many materials, and then you can use thorough research, which will use more materials, but you're more likely to find something to craft using that. So in order to get started with that, I'm going to need more paper. So if we turn some of this sugarcane into paper, I'm going to keep some around just in case. It's pretty important to have sugarcane. I have some planted, but I don't have a huge supply yet. So we put paper in... Where do we put paper? Paper in here. And then what we do is we put various materials in here and click this button. And it will attempt to research something that uses those materials. So while this is still lit up, there's a possibility one of our recipes will use this, but it'll grey out when we get to a stage that we don't need any. So obviously there's nothing that requires wood in there. There we go. Boom. So we're researching magic tallow, and that takes fire, and it takes corpus, which is body and flesh and things like that. So cooked pork chops obviously have all of that in it. And this looks like it only takes these two materials. So Ignis right now is researched fully as it's glowing. This is not. So there we go. Now it is, and that only used a couple of pork chops on us. And we have a magic tallow discovery. So magic tallow. By processing and heating flesh in the crucible, you believe you can create a mystical tallow suited for many arcane uses. So I right click on that to learn it, and there we go. I have researched magic tallow, which is here, and that takes 4 corpus in a crucible. What does it do? You have learnt the secret of rendering flesh in the crucible to produce an enchanted tallow that can be used in the creation of magical candles. So, in order to make that, I'm going to need to build another magic tool. I'm going to need a crucible. And a crucible is a cauldron that I've used a wand on. So if I build a cauldron, have I got iron? I have plenty of iron. So if I build a cauldron, that's not a cauldron. Is this a cauldron? No. How do you make a cauldron? I am useless with recipes. Iron like that. So, cauldron. So if I bring my cauldron upstairs, and actually I'm going to need water as well. I know I have a bucket of water in here. There we go. So if I bring my cauldron up here and place it down, where's a good place to place it down? Let's say in the corner here. And I use my magic wand, which I currently have in the table, on it. It'll turn it into a crucible. So this is now a crucible. And that takes water to cast spells. So what I think I need to do is build some kind of infinite water supply up here. So more buckets. 2 buckets should be enough to make an infinite water supply if I haven't forgotten my Minecraft. It's entirely possible that I have, but let's get a block of water. There we go. And build ourselves an infinite water supply upstairs. close my door behind me to stop any creepers getting in. What will we build it out of? Something that'll look pretty upstairs. Let's go for marble bricks. So if we take this window over here, I suppose. Nope, not like that. So if we take this window over here and just build a little basin, let's say. Water. There we go, an infinite water supply. So if we drop some water in our cauldron, then we can then use this to craft our magic items. I'm gonna need my wand again. Did I put that back on the table? Of course I put it back on the table. So here is our crucible. Now this needs to boil, and in order to let it boil, we're going to need lava. Now that's not good. Do I have any lava? Would fire do? I don't know if fire will work. Let's see if fire will work. So if I get a piece of netherrack, and where was our crucible? Our crucible was not there. Our crucible was here. Sorry, floor. So if we put a piece of netherrack underneath the crucible and set fire to it, will that be enough to boil our cauldron? I have a flint and tinder upstairs. There we go, flint and steel. And can we set fire to the netherrack underneath this? Whoa, no. Let's dig this back up again. There we go. Please stop burning. And here's our crucible. So if we put the crucible there and we put some water in it, is it going to be enough to boil? So this should start to boil after a couple of seconds. I'll know it's boiling because there we go, it's boiling. Okay, so now we need 4 corpus, and 4 corpus is in this raw beef. So let's say 2. So if we put 2 raw beef in here, there we go, and we use our... Did I just throw my wand in there? No, I didn't. I did throw the entire stack of beef in there though. So now that we have lots of beef in there, if I right click on this, there we go. Magic tallow. So that's the basics of making things in Thaumcraft. You boil things up in your crucible, you fill it with water, and you throw in the various materials and it'll craft it as long as you've researched it in your research table. So let's take a look at our Thaumonomicon and see if there's anything else we can build. So silverwood trees, no, can't build them. So right now all we have researched is magic tallow, but there's a lot of things to go in depth here, so I'm going to try and research a few more things and see if we can work out how to build some more. So let's throw some iron in there and see. There we go. So that has iron in it. Research notes, basic transmutation. So that uses metal at least. And what else could it use? Does it use any of this? No, none of that. What does magic tallow have in it? Magic. No magic in it. Leather has a few things. I have very little leather. I'm reluctant. Doesn't have any wood stuff in it either. Used the last of my sugarcane. None of that. Any marble doesn't have anything because it's not from this mod pack. Anything torches have in it? Light. None of that. What else could it be? 2 other materials. Let's get some maybe some coal, some nickelite. Nickelite doesn't have the same stuff as glowstone. Let's get some glowstone, some lapis lazuli, some flint maybe. I'm trying to pick out things that I don't really use that much. Let's go for some sapphires as well. Why do I have V shards in here and thaumium ingots? They are supposed to be in the other chest. There we go. So let's try these materials we have and see how this goes. So put in some glowstone dust. Nope. Put in some coal. Nope. Put in some nickelite. None in that either. Let's go for some lapis lazuli. There we go. It takes Karis, which is expensive materials, and it has also revealed our last thing, which is permutatio. So I have no idea what that could be in, but we'll have a flick through our chests down here and see if we can find anything it's in. There we go, silver ore. That will do. Now we might get some more out of silver bars, but I have enough silver ore that it's not going to be a problem. So let us research this using silver. And we have our discovery, basic transmutation. By studying the rudiments of alchemy and the properties of metals, you think you might have stumbled upon a way to transform base metals into gold. Right, so if I learn that, and then check our Thaumonomicon, there we go, basic transmutation. Can make 2 gold nuggets from 2 metallium and 1 Karis. So have we got anything that has that in it? Yes. 8 metallium in that. And what had our Karis in it? It was the lapis lazuli, perhaps? Lapis lazuli, yes. So let's get 8 of this. And we need 1 Karis and 2 metallium. So 1 iron ingot gives us 8. So then we need to put 4 lapis in. So if I throw in an iron ingot, nope, 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 get in my inventory. What just happened there? So if I throw in 1 of them and 4 lapis, and then I use my wand on this, we should get gold nuggets. There we go. 8 gold nuggets. So we have learned basic transmutation. So that is the basics of Thaumcraft. We're pretty much set up here. We have our infinite water supply. We have our arcane work table. And we have our research table and our crucible as well. They're all the things you're going to need to do the basics of magic. As you can see, there is a lot of things you can craft in here. And I'm going to do some research off camera because there's a lot of things you can research and they take a lot of different materials. So next time we come back, hopefully I'll have some interesting materials we can craft, and we can play around with this Thaumcraft and this magic a little bit more and hopefully discover some of the cooler parts of this. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been the basics of Thaumcraft, and hopefully now you can experiment with this yourself and we can see what we can make next episode. I've been King Lear, and this has been Feed the Bros. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of the series, and check us out on Twitter and Facebook as well. Bye, guys.